Gaza, Israel's genocide of journalists. The world cannot look away. The Gaza Strip has become the deadliest place for journalists in modern history, and the numbers are staggering. By August 11, 2025, an aggregation of data from multiple sources, including the Committee to Protect Journalists (CPJ) and the International Federation of Journalists (IFJ), concluded that Israel had killed up to 274 journalists, 269 of them Palestinian. These are not tragic accidents and they are not collateral damage. These killings are the direct result of deliberate actions by the Israeli government and the IDF, and they constitute a genocide against journalists and the truth itself. The scale of the crime. Journalists are civilians. They are protected under international humanitarian law, including the Geneva Conventions and customary law. Their mission is simple: to document reality, to bear witness to human suffering, and to report on events that affect humanity. In Gaza, however, Israel has turned this duty into a death sentence. The overwhelming majority of victims were Palestinian journalists, men and women reporting from their own homes, neighborhoods, hospitals, and streets. Foreign journalists, barred from entering Gaza, rely on these local reporters for news. By killing them systematically, Israel is not only silencing the press but erasing the witnesses to its own actions. How Israel executed this campaign. Evidence collected by independent organizations, media houses, and UN reports shows clear patterns. Airstrikes and artillery. Journalists have been killed at work, in their homes, and while documenting humanitarian crises. Targeted strikes on media offices and press tents. Facilities known to house journalists or their equipment have been repeatedly hit. Deliberate ignoring of civilian protection. In many cases, journalists were clearly identified by markings or proximity to international media and hospitals, yet the strikes continued. Pattern of elimination. The repeated, systematic nature of these strikes makes clear this is not a war accident but a campaign to remove witnesses. UNESCO, CPJ, RSF, and the IFJ have all condemned these killings, demanding immediate, independent investigations. Yet, no accountability has come. The killings continue. Legal perspective, a clear violation. International law is explicit. Journalists are civilians, protected unless directly participating in hostilities. Civilian infrastructure, including media offices and journalists' homes, cannot be attacked. Attacks that deliberately kill civilians or are carried out recklessly constitute war crimes. By killing hundreds of journalists, repeatedly striking media offices, tents, hospitals, and homes, Israel has violated every principle of international humanitarian law. The word that must be used is not tragedy or collateral damage. This is genocide against journalists. The deliberate elimination of witnesses is a strategic choice to control the narrative, silence truth, and prevent accountability. Patterns of violence. Journalists working in Gaza faced near-constant bombardment from Israeli airstrikes, drones, and artillery. Media infrastructure, including offices of Al Jazeera, local Palestinian outlets, and freelance journalists' homes, were destroyed repeatedly. Multiple independent reports confirmed that journalists were identified and killed despite visibility, demonstrating that these were not accidents. Many victims were killed while covering hospitals, humanitarian aid distribution, or shelters for civilians, places explicitly protected under international law. Names of victims, remembering the fallen. Among the 274 journalists killed by Israel, some of the victims reported by CPJ, IFJ, RSF, and international news sources include Salah al-Jafarawi, Abdelkader Bey, Abdullah Baris, Adam Abu Harbid, Ahlam Nafeth al-Talyalai, Ahmad al-Shaya, Ahmed Abu Alris, Allah Hashim, Amna Hamid, Anas al-Sharif, Ashraf Abu, Ayman Mohammed al-Garbawi, Fadi Khalifa, Hassam Shabat, Husam al-Titi, Hassan al-Kashawi, Ibrahim Hajjaj, Islam Miqdad, Ismail al-Ghul, Khalid al-Madhoun, Mahmoud Islim al-Bezos, Maryam Daga, Muhammad Allah al-Sawali, Muhammad al-Khaldi, Wala al-Jabari, Yazan al-Zawaidi, among many others. Each name represents a human life, a story cut short, a witness silenced. The scale is unprecedented in modern journalism. The consequences. By targeting journalists, Israel is not only committing mass murder but also crippling the ability of the world to see what is happening in Gaza. The killings create an information blackout, hide war crimes, and allow atrocities to continue unreported. This is a deliberate strategy of suppression and control, fitting the definition of genocide under international law. International response. Too little, too late. UNESCO and the UN have condemned the killings, calling for accountability. Press freedom organizations like CPJ, RSF, and IFJ have denounced Israel's campaign against journalists. Yet no independent international investigation has successfully held Israel accountable. The world's silence enables this ongoing genocide. Every day without accountability is another day of deaths, another day of silenced witnesses, and another day of unreported crimes. Israel alone is responsible. There is no ambiguity. There is no collateral damage defense that can absolve Israel of responsibility. Israel and the IDF are solely responsible for the deaths of 274 journalists, 269 of them Palestinian. These deaths are a crime against humanity and constitute genocide against journalists. The international community must act, urgently. The names of the dead must be remembered. The killers must be held accountable. The truth must survive. Gaza's journalists cannot die in silence.